I think one of people ask us all the time, what's the secret to that? There's no secrets. It is hard work, but I think what makes a great agent is a composite too of their life. What your upbringing was, what you did, school or otherwise, whether it's experiences, whether you cut hair, whether you worked at the power plant, right?
Oh, it did that one too.
Yeah, and so I did a whole lot of school too, but then I worked to put myself through school because, my parents weren't in a position to pay for that. So all those jobs I did to become, I think it gave me the staples, the foundation for, really kind of being regimented. And I think that's so important to the job. I mean, even if you and I look at our calendar, you might say, well, you don't have something exactly at 8:30. We're in there anyway because it's habit.
Right.
And if there isn't something specific on the books, we create something.
And we're a good mix because you're a little bit more, paper
Be
and
careful.
I know.
Paper, that's
and
just
I
me.
may be a little bit more, on the softer side as far as that goes. But we had a great
paper.
when we came together and created Heritage Properties.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about Mary and I, we've just always, or the two of us, is we've always been, we've always had each other's back.
Yep.
And we've always had the clients first and the agents first and everything else. So we've always just been, hardworking,
Yeah.
no matter what.
And now that I think about it, our partnering, it came secondary to doing the job. Always for our people. We were working so hard all the time and we weren't self-promoting at all. It was just the volume that we did came from just being consistent and doing what was sort of formatted at the time in terms of preparing yourself to be with clients and to represent them.
At the same token, we always made the time to,
Yep.
you always want to try and make the best out of the people that you're working
Yeah.
with too.
No
So, and we've always been there to help each other,
Yeah.
not each other, but even other agents as far as intermingling and stuff.
That's why we're talking a bigger umbrella, even a bigger team, just because what we've done so far.
Yeah, it's nice to get the tech skills along with the social skills of what works and stuff.
I'll tell you, the real estate, I feel personally, and then I think Ann would partner on this comment, every decade or so, there seems to be big game changers in the industry, don't you find?
Absolutely.
And you almost have to, I think my gut played a big part in changing how I worked a little bit. That was starting with assistants, and back then it was like, what? You want your own assistant? Well, yeah. Then we stepped into a decade where it was more, the companies were changing and it became more of a, if the company didn't work to help cultivate the agent and make the agent the prime focal point and not the company, remember that time? That was probably over 20 years ago.
But I think through the stages, they've lost the touch through the way. That's what's great about Winning Company is I think that you're getting a lot more professionalism. It's not just teams that are created by a bunch of newbies out there it's about numbers. It's sort of taking everything and making it into it's a perfect blend. You've got to go with the changes. You got to get up with the times. And in our business, where we are right now, we've got enough people that it's hard to try and balance all that and get with the times as far as, but keeping the blend of it, I think is beneficial for everybody.
Well, it's interesting because I think even though the watches are the same, and you and I wear watches, we joke about this all the time, most people don't even wear a watch anymore, but I think clocks are different today because the clock, it's ticking faster in terms of demand, the response time, et cetera, et cetera. Right. It's fostered the need to have an umbrella around you or some other tentacles because you're only one person. And even though someone said earlier there was 8 days in a week, I haven't figured that one out. But it's still, you still got the 24/7s. And no matter what, I just think that the pace of the world we're in now has dictated a change again. So now we're looking at another evolution in real estate. But I'll tell you, there's plateaus in it. You still only have the 24 hours in a day and the 7 days a week. And you still, I think, to be good at what you are and good at what you do, you still need to try to figure out how to keep that energy up and rejuvenate. Otherwise, you're not going to be good to anybody.
Right.
And I think that's where,
I think that's where we sort of start.
supersized teams can work.
Now it's almost the point where you need to stop and rejuvenate too, instead of just being on the crush.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great year, actually.
Absolutely.
You got it.
It'll be a great year.